Hi, my name's Amy Reedy. I'm the AMR coordinator here at Wave Utilities, and I'll be taking you through Watercore today. So when you open your Watercore platform, you'll see your sites down the right-hand side here, and you'll see a dashboard of icons, and I'll just take you through each one so that you can understand better what you can find in that section. So the first one is the cog icon. So this is the logger settings. So if you click on here, and it will show you the name of the site. In this case, it's one of our own sites. You'll have the site ID, and then you'll also have any sort of other annotations that you wanted to call the site, for example, that might be useful to you internally. So here you can fully annotate, save exactly what you wanted to call the site or any notes that you wanted to make. That's found in this section here. You can also see what type of AMR you've got. So this one, for example, is one of the larger 6S models. If you go to the alarms tab, you can see what the alarm threshold is set to. So this one here, for example, is 3, and that's 3 cubes a day. So if this site was to go over 3 cubes a day, then the AMR alarm would trigger. That AMR alarm can either be sent to yourselves via email or text message, but that's automatically sent to myself to have a look into for you. And if I felt like there was any concerns, I would pop you an email just so that you can have a look at it. The next icon that I want to show you is the graph icon. So here you'll be able to have a look at your profile and exactly how much water you're using. It gives a really good overview of either a monthly, weekly, daily view. And if you've had the AMR quite a long time, it can actually zoom all the way out to a yearly view. So you can see the profile of the site, you can see your peaks, your troughs, and any sort of issues that might be on site that you might not get to have a look at just looking at meter reads. So for example, here I can see that this site is using continuous water volume. So you can see that the red line doesn't touch the baseline. And in an ideal world, when there's no one on the site or it shouldn't be using water, the red line should touch the baseline. So this is a really handy tool for if you get an AMR alarm, you can just come onto here, get to the site, click on the graph, and then it will pop up with the profile so you can see exactly what's going on the site. The next icon is the display value for channels. So this icon lets you break down the data. So for example, you'll have your meter serial number along the top, and then you'll have your dates. It's always got today as the top date. And then when you scroll down, it'll have the date all the way back until when this AMR was installed. You'll be able to break the data down. So you can either, for example, have a look at daily data, weekly data, all the way down to minute by minute. So for example, if you had a monthly report that you wanted to run, you could click month. It would then generate here in cubes per day exactly how many that you'd actually used, so you can have a look at the site. You can also export to CSV and data file as well. If you wanted to put in a particular date range, say you'd had a leak or something had happened on the site in a particular time frame, you could come into here, put the exact dates, and then it will obviously run your report from that date to this date. The hourly can particularly help if you have any issues on site. You can see exactly how much this meter's used an hour, which is really handy. The next tab is the show indexes. So this is basically your meter reads. So if you click on here, it will have today's meter read at the top. The AMR will call in at 6 o'clock every morning with a read, and then it will show today's at the top and then when the AMR was installed at the bottom. You can also break it down just like the previous tab from day to day. If you wanted specific time frames, you can also export it to CSV as well. The next tab is the site photos. So whenever we go to the site, we'll take a photo of the AMR's location, the meter chamber, what kind of state it was in when we got there, and then it will basically just give a kind of living diary of every time we go to site. We'll load the photos in so you can see stage by stage the life of the AMR. So here are the photos. So it just helps with meter locations, things like that. If you have a changeover at site and you've got a new starter that needs to read the meter or do something in the chamber, then they can obviously see where it is quite easily there. This is the view site location. So this connects to Google Earth, so you can see exactly where this AMR is located. So this is quite handy if you have quite a few AMR or it's on a campus and you wanted to show a member of staff or just keep track of where they all are. This is quite a handy tool, and it connects directly to Street View. The other tabs are for things like the communications reports. So if you wanted to pull a report of exactly when the AMR last called in with an alarm or had some sort of issue, you'd be able to have a look on this tab. There's the alarm history, the communications report, and then there's basically a mass upload button to data files. But these ones are not so useful in terms of day-to-day, popping in and out of Watercore to see things. They're a little bit more niche, a little bit more specific. You can also add comments on this tab here if you wanted to make site-specific comments that you could see, then you could store them here. But that's the run through of Watercore. But if you have any questions, you can always contact me on the AMR mailbox, which is amr@waveutilities.co.uk. And I'm the sort of one-stop shop for all of your AMR queries.